are going.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Horns in the Air. Today we're doing it as a podcast, so that's a little bit of a change, but hopefully you'll enjoy it. We're going to be doing a whole album release listen through for Raze the Altars, Cataclysm Edom. We have several members of the band with us today, or people that were part of the production. And of course, we have Mr. RJ. How you doing today?
What up? I'm doing good, Gabe. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. I'm excited to be listening to this music here. It's this really fantastic album we got on our hands.
We've
And
got the man
then,
on the line too.
yeah, we do. Dylan, how you doing?
Hey, good man. How are you?
Oh, excellent, excellent. You excited about releasing this album? When did it come out, actually?
Yeah, it came out on the 8th, so it's been out for just over a week now. But the release was kind of hectic and everything, so I've been trying to like throw together all these lyric videos and everything. But yeah, in general, it's been good. Just been lots of promoting and all that kind of stuff.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. And next we have Jade. Is she a member of the band or what?
She's she's the well, you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, you can explain yourself, Jade. How you doing?
Yes. So I am the main member of Method to Madness, and my band Method to Madness features on Raze's album twice because we're that cool and sexy.
Oh, very nice, very nice. I love that. And we had Jake from Method to Madness on our show a couple weeks ago.
2 weeks ago,
And,
yeah.
you guys have a totally sweet little project going on. I'm glad to have you on the show here with us. And finally,
Thank
we
you.
have Nina. Is that correct?
Yeah, hi.
Hello, Nina. And what is your role in all of this?
I was asked to feature in two of the songs. I am not part of the band though. I have my own music project thing called Ever Dissever.
Ever Dissever. That's
Mhm.
sweet. And we'll get in. We'll have plenty of time for you guys to get into your other projects and where people can find them. But I am totally stoked to have all of you on the show today. Um, so let's get started with some of the music, and we'll get into some questions. But let's get the music going here. Um, Dylan, would you like to introduce this track with anything?
So this is the title track of the album. No, sorry, title track of the band.
There we go.
It Yeah, and featuring Nina, who has an awesome verse in the bridge, which we'll get to. I reckon her bridge is like the highlight of the whole album, to be honest. It's fucking ace.
Thank you.
Well,
Most
here we
welcome.
go.
Yeah, let's get this started. I gotta say, Dylan, it's good to finally have you on the show, considering I think we've mentioned you in every episode of Horns in the Air since we've started. It's my
Really?
running joke that this is actually your podcast this whole time. Oops.
It is. It's pretty funny.
I listened to the first three episodes. I missed one, and then just kind of never got around to watching it because been like mad busy with getting out now and everything.
Also, I'll just say this now because I'm fucking stupid. I accidentally still had the Discord stream muted at the start of that. But we're good now.
Oh, we're good. Okay,
Yeah, you're
good,
fine.
good.
Just don't touch anything. Don't
So,
touch anything or it'll blow up.
Seriously.
And speaking
So
of
how
that,
long,
shut the
Dylan? How long have you been a band for?
So I started producing it was about a year ago, I think. Maybe it's been maybe about 13 months since I started producing properly. When I was around 18 and I was in uni, I met out with some music software and I made some like really, really shit like EDM metal stuff with like a concept and guitars and stuff. It was absolutely crap. And I didn't touch it for a couple few years. And then last year, I decided to get back into it. Got a sport guitar, good microphone, good setup and everything. And I actually put time into learning some tunes like properly, rather than just throwing stems and samples together and calling it music.
Are you on a headset or are you on a phone, by the way?
Sorry?
Are you on your phone or are you on a headset?
No, I'm on my 7B, man.
You're on the 7B? That was rude. You were breaking up a little bit, but I kind of got the gist.
Oh, really?
You were saying you started in uni, took a break, and you picked back up
Oh, right.
again.
Yeah, basically. And
Yeah.
so last year I decided to learn vocals and get some proper gear and start producing properly. So some of the tracks on the album are like the first ones I actually started making. You can kind of tell that they're a bit iffy. The Sightless is one of them, which is up after this track, and no, Chain Bearer, which I think is honestly, probably the weakest track on the album. It's the first track I started making. But yeah, it's been an interesting year. Like,
Look, I've said this already, but I'm jealous of your work ethic. Like the amount that you've gotten done in a year is like compared to me out here. Like my whole quarantine's just been like fucking just eating junk food and like hating myself. You know.
oh, I've done a lot of that too. Don't worry.
Yeah,
I feel that.
High
Yeah,
efficiency. You know.
Crying into my
you really, this is a total amazing product of COVID, I gotta say. Like, really, your work ethic is something to be proud of. Like,
I think it's just like ADD. I just hyperfixate on stuff, so I can happily spend 16 hours a day doing the same thing.
I feel that. I'm the same way when I work on shit. It's like I'll be lazy about starting, and then once I start, I get like manic about it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
like I just stop. And I feel like that's not healthy, but I mean, hey, it's just how my brain works.
I will not sleep. I will not eat. I will just produce it.
So this is the Sightless.
The sightless.
Sightless. Obviously, I'm the one that's sightless. I've got issues if I'm saying the sightless. But yeah. So you got anything to say about this track? Your vocal performance is really beastly, man. I gotta say, like, I continue to be totally shocked and inspired by your vocal performances. And if you've only been doing this for a year, you got to give yourself a solid hand, my man. What's your recording process look like?
A fucking mess. To be honest,
a fucking mess.
Generally, just like I write all the lyrics kind of just whenever I feel like writing. I never listen to the instrumental and write the lyrics over the top of it. So I end up kind of having to like rearrange what I've written quite a lot and shoehorn it into the instrumental to make it fit. But my recording process is generally just sort of listen to the track a couple of times and go through whatever like songs I've got, whatever like lyrics I've got written down and see which ones fit best over the instrumental, and then just start recording, I guess. I usually do it a lot of pieces. Like, to be honest, I probably wouldn't be able to perform half of this stuff live because a lot of it's quite chopped and edited and stuff. But I'm not really fussed on that because obviously I don't have a band at the moment, so worrying about live performances just seems like it would hinder the production of the music at this point. Might as well just focus on making it sound as best I can, whether that's using technology to help. And
I mean,
yeah, technology is a big part.
Like the whole one-man project thing goes back kind of a little bit farther, because like, so that's something that like I know you and I are both fans of, like, you know, Clayton Celldweller.
Yeah, I knew you could say Clayton.
Yeah, and that guy's been doing solo stuff like since the '90s and shit. And
yeah, I think when did Circle of Dust's first album come out? That was
90. What, is it 93?
Yeah, I think it's 93.
I think so. And I remember watching videos and shit from like he had like he talked about it, and then he had like old videos from that time. And it's crazy that like, okay, part of it I feel like is this dude, he had the connections, like the hookups in a way, because when you look at some of the because like the way you're a solo artist in the 90s like is like you have a studio, like a real studio that's like got all the big fucking like wall-to-wall panels with all the shit on it, and you know, that's all condensed into a laptop now. But like, it was still doable. There were people doing it.
Yeah, he would have had to have like a whole basement full of analog synthesizers and shit.
Yeah, no, the technology in terms of how it's made it so that you can take a 100-channel mixer, you know, a board, and put it right into anyone's home, and with all the saturation plugins and stuff nowadays, you can get a really good warm sound. It doesn't sound just digital and cold, even though the whole process is super digital.
Can I also just say that
I saturate everything. I saturate my guitar, my vocals, my drums, bass.
Oh yeah.
You got to give it a little warmth to everything, you know. And it's amazing that you can do it, because it's I grew up with the Taz Camo too as like my way to record or whatever.
I don't
You
even
know,
know what that is.
it was a tape. It was a recorded onto a tape. And you had four track. It was a 4-track or whatever,
Okay.
basic 4-track recorder that would record onto a tape, and you'd have to, send it. It was super basic, but you only had 4 tracks, and there was like no way to do inserts and anything like that. But nowadays, it's yeah, I've got a complete studio in my pocket, and I mean that's the
I
thing
feel
with
so
this album
weird.
that I'm hearing. You have so many different instruments going on. It's not just guitar, drums, and bass. You really pushed it with all elements of different stuff. Like this piano part is really nice,
Oh yeah.
and adds a lot of dynamics to this whole album, which is totally incredible.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I really like the. I'm absolutely obsessed with like kind of like symphonic elements of music. So I just got choirs and violins and pianos and everything.
Can I also just say real quick that like it's really weird for me talking about like people making music in like the early '90s and like '93 when I wasn't even like technically born yet. Like I'd like to
Yeah,
have
same.
knowledge on
Yeah,
that
I
shit.
mean, I was born in '96.
Yeah. I feel like I'm just like, yeah, I just have to I don't know, like am I the one who how do I put this? Is it weird to I guess it's not weird for people in like a newer generation to still have influences from like bands that were around before they like were born, you know? I guess it's more common now, just because I mean like metal as a thing hasn't been a thing for that long if you really think about it, right? You know, like with the '80s,
I
'70s, yeah,
'70s,
yeah,
'80s,
yeah.
like when that transition kind of happened.
yeah, I grew up on 80s music, so I think it's totally normal.
I mean, I grew up on '80s music, but was born in the '80s, so there's that. But I mean, I don't think it's strange at all to
Yeah,
to be influenced by music that. I think that's the thing. The older you get, the more willing you are to listen to stuff that is like broader than what you initially listened
yeah, and
to.
also to be fair, like when you were a kid, you listened to your parents' music, which would be from a generation back, you know,
Right.
Yeah.
a lot of times at least. Like if
But
y'all
then
know,
there's that wonderful moment that you find your own music. That's
yeah,
like
definitely.
was such a great feeling hearing Metallica for like the first time. Oh my god. I was like I that's when I became a musician was hearing Blackened for the first time. I was like, I need to be able to figure out how to do what these guys are doing
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever because it blew my mind. And I've been from all my mom's music, which is totally interesting music, but not necessarily metal. And metal changed my life.
It's funny that like you have that moment with like such a reputable and like big name band like Metallica, and it's like, yo, what's that for me? Fucking Whitechapel. I
Nice, nice. That's
mean,
great.
yeah. No disrespect to Whitechapel at all, but
What is your guys' metal moment or whatever? What band was it that you knew
not
metal was
necessarily
going
metal
to be
either, but
part of
just
your
like
life?
artists.
I guess that's true. What band did you first go, oh my god, like this is it or whatever?
My
It's quite
dad
funny
gave me a.
because
Oh, you go.
sorry, you
You
go.
go.
Oh.
Oh,
Well, mine's quite funny because for me it wasn't even a metal band; it was a hard rock band. So for me, it was Hailstorm because in more of
Hailstorm,
their
oh, yeah.
later records, like Revicious, there's like quite a lot of metal influences in that, and that to me was like the gateway band for me to get into like Spirit Box,
Hail-
Slipknot, like Ice Nine Kills, all of that jazz.
my dad gave me a Sepultura CD when I was like 10, and that was pretty much the end of it.
Which CD?
Sepultura.
Sepultura.
Oh, Sepultura. Nice, nice. That's a great one.
Yeah. So yeah, yeah, got into that, and then my cousin was like a few years older than me, and she was like really into metal and stuff. So like she got me into like doing ball gear and that kind of stuff when I was like
Yeah,
11 or
man.
12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Demon Warrior is the band that like got me into black metal.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of went off black metal after them, but I think what was the other one that's kind of like that? I think it was Dimmy Borgir and Children of Bodom was the other one.
Children of Bodom. Yeah, Demon like Demon Borgir's like okay. So like for me, I've said this before, but for me, it's like hitting black metal with like also like really solid sounding and like big sounding production is like amazing. Like Septic. Okay, some people don't count Septic Flesh as black metal, but I do, and like that's the other like. You never heard of them? Oh, bro, I gotta put you on that shit. Their vocalist is crazy.
What guitars are you using for this album?
It's a Schecter Demon 8.
That's a really nice fucking guitar. My God. What kind of pickups? What kind of pickups you got in it, that guitar?
It's got the stock ones in it. I was gonna buy some. I was gonna get the Seymour Duncan Navskull, but I didn't have the cash to spend on it, so I just spent £600 on the guitar. So I didn't have the money for the pickup, so I just left the stock ones in. And to be honest, they're like, so I'm running that through the Neural DSP Granifier sim.
Which Neural DSP again?
Granifier.
Oh, okay.
It's a model of I think why have I forgot his name? He's like my favourite guitarist, Slipknot's guitarist. Someone help me out. Mick.
Mick,
the amps that Mick from Slipknot uses.
I keep wanting to say fucking Mick Gordon, but it's not Mick Gordon. I'm stupid.
It's not Mick Gordon. Mick Thompson.
Mick Thompson.
It's a brutal tone.
Yeah, so it's the amps that he uses, and he's actually got a preset built in. Like, he's got a preset built into the Granifier amp simulator, which I built. The preset that I used for the album is I built it off.
How long have you been playing guitar for? Like, I'm assuming, is guitar your longest like instrument you've been playing? I'm guessing because the drums.
Yeah,
the drums are perfect. Right? Yeah.
I've been playing on and off for like quite a while, but to be honest, I don't really play it properly. I just kind of. It's just a lot of chugging. I'm not very good.
Look, you're describing my culture, alright? That it's just chugs.
I'd say that I'd say I'm good at coming up with like, catchy drifts.
Yeah,
stuff, but I'm not good at technical stuff. There isn't a solo in the whole album or anything like that.
I'm gonna be honest with you, like
good
industrial music is like the kind of genre I would probably want to like pick up guitar to play, just because it's like it is more just percussive than it is like technical.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's kind of the approach I do. I'm very far from a technical guitarist.
What'd you do for bass?
I use Tone Kraken.
Say that again?
It's a plugin. It's a Kraken by Stormtones.
Sweet. Well, it sounds fantastic. And is it? Did you play it, or it's a full plugin?
It's a Verge plugin.
Oh, okay. Well, damn. It sounds good. Sounds really good. And what did you do for drums?
The drums are what the hell are they called? It's a plugin. It's a pack I found for Superior Drummers 3. I cannot remember for the life of me what the actual name of the pack was, and I don't want to open the Fruit Loops in case it absolutely ruins my microphone. It likes to steal what's going on with my mic. I will get back to you on that. But yeah, so the amp stem I'm using for the bass as well as the FD Parallax.
Yeah, I gotta say the lows in this section here, the fucking low vocals are crazy. Like, I thought that was Chad for a second. I'm not even fucking with you, like.
Cheers, man. Like, I honestly, like, I've tried replicating those vocals for other bits, and for some reason I just can't do it. I was like, come on, I got those in a couple of takes, and then for some reason I haven't been able to get them with low stems.
Bro, I deal with that all the time. I'll be like, I'll have like one good take on something, and I try to replicate that tone later, and I just cannot fucking do it, and I'm like, oh, it drives me crazy. You know?
With some songs, like I go back to it, I'm like, I'm not quite happy with the bit of vocals in the track. I go back and re-record that bit, and I just can't get it as good as what I had before. And I'm like, why? I've improved since then. Why can I not do as good?
I've heard some people say it's like a rule of threes. Like if you can't do it in three, like that's the goodest. The goodest you're gonna get is in 3 takes.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree with that, but like I don't think that applies to like timing, but for tone, yeah, definitely. Like
Yeah, tone, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely kind of a make or break thing, isn't it? Recording vocals, you either kind of get it or you don't.
my big thing is I feel like, and this is like for anybody who's like trying to like, because a lot of people who get started with metal vocals, it's like their only thing they start, like they don't usually have a background like recording clean vocals. You know what I mean? It's like either like you were already interested in that or you weren't. But like when you practice in your bedroom for forever, and then you go to actually record, and you're like, fuck, I need to make all these like micro adjustments to what I'm doing because it just doesn't work when you get it like with music behind it, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I really need to work on my clean vocals. I really want to find a tutor, but like I live in a pretty small town and there's no one around who can teach.
I was taking
I'll take
singing
one.
lessons like for fun before Corona hit, and then like trying to do that over Zoom sucks ass, my guy. Like it's terrible.
That's why like I haven't bothered. Like I know that there are people that I wanted to reach out to online, like if you go to like Marcel or Justin Bonites from Tala, like he does vocal lessons online, and I'm really tempted to go more like harder box maybe.
I feel like my thing is like I feel like at least when it comes to singing, like I could get pretty far just workshopping and like doing stuff on my own and using YouTube as a resource, right? Versus like the motivation to do a class would be to go do a class like in groups for the community aspect, just because, you know, like for fun, right?
Yeah.
Because like if you really
Like,
want to just learn, you don't need a teacher for that. I don't think, at least. But
The thing is, I need someone to tell me to practice, otherwise I just won't do it.
yeah, that's fair.
It's the same with guitar. That's why I don't do any technical crap on my guitar. Is because like when I pick up my guitar, I'll the occasional times, I sit there and I think, right, okay, today I'm actually going to do some practice and get better at guitar. I pick it up, I start doing some like scale runs or whatever, and or some like finger exercises, or learning some chords, and within like 3 minutes, I'm just noodling around and recording a new riff and making a song out of it instead.
My old singing teacher used to like, get on me to practice a lot, and like I didn't want to tell her that the truth was I was practicing every day, but I would just practice screaming instead. So.
I mean, really, I have that same issue too. Of the only time that like playing guitar for me, kind of right now, that's fun is when I'm recording or whatever, and so I have like zero time practicing. It's just all trying to come up, noodle around with riffs, and then record them, or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I just don't have the attention span for like practice. Well, I mean, it is all practice anyway, and like just noodling around will make you better, but not the ways.
Right. No, I mean it always makes you better, but but it's also really, and also being able to record yourself, you can hear yourself get better, like consistently, which is really cool because back in the day it wasn't as easy to record, practice sessions, and that's partially why I like to, or how I end up recording so much, is just anytime I pick up the guitar and plug it in, it's ready to record because the system's all set up to go, and so like why not?
Yeah, exactly.
So I want to ask each one of you a question here about I know it sounds kind of silly, but what spirit animal or animal totem would you say represents each of your bands? Because I know that each one of you has their own project, so I'd like to hear what's your spirit animal for your band, and we can start with Jade or Nina.
Yeah, it would be a bit weird to not say a raven, because the name of the project is from an Edgar Allan Poe poem, because he's my favorite author.
Oh, nice. The Raven, I assume?
Well, the name comes from Annabelle Lee, but I did pick a raven as one of the versions of the logo. I have several versions, just because I thought it was fitting. But really, I'm not sure if that's necessarily like the only animal that would work, because I haven't like written much music yet, and I have like this really wide vision of what I want to do. There's like stuff that I want to do as acoustic or classical, stuff that I want to do as just like heavy metal kind of stuff. And honestly, I'm just going wherever that takes me.
Cool. Jade?
Rottweiler.
Say that again?
Rottweiler.
Oh, Rottweiler for Method to Madness. I like that a lot.
Yeah,
Sweet.
because everyone thinks that Rottweilers are like really vicious, scary, big. But I actually have one of my own, and she is absolutely stupid. There is.
Well, there's no what do they say? There's no bad dogs. There's only bad owners or whatever.
I feel like that kind of represents the band a lot because it's like some of the lyrics I write. It's essentially about murder and killing people and like these quite hardcore breakdowns, especially with it being in drop C as well. A lot of it goes quite hard, but in reality, like we're just very soft people.
Right. When it comes down to it, I love that. And Dylan, what do you got going for Raze?
Mecha Godzilla.
Fuck yeah.
I love that.
That's great.
It's
so
heavy industrial influence. So, yeah.
Where do you want to see? I'm sorry. Where do you want to see your band in a year?
I honestly, I don't know. In the ears of people who like it, that's pretty much it, really. I don't really care.
That's like outside in a venue.
Right.
I just want
my bedroom.
I just want the people who are going to enjoy it to find it.
Yeah,
that's it.
I mean, that's definitely the best anyone could wish for as an artist.
No, I'm aware that this music isn't, because it's kind of niche. Like it's a weird mix of stuff. Like there's like at least every track has some influence.
I think there needs to be more crossover between.
It's like symphonic industrial new metal. It's like it's not like it hasn't been done before, but it's kind of a.
It's got its own thing, though. I gotta say, it really does have its own thing.
And I think so. I'm well aware that it's kind of a niche collection of genres, but like the people who have told me that they enjoy it have told me that they've got the whole album on repeat. So like, it's kind of. I feel like even if only like 1 in 50 people like it, at least those one person really, really, really likes it.
I personally think there needs to be more crossover between industrial and traditional metal. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think what I like the most is that it doesn't feel like it's boxed in by a genre in particular. It just feels like whatever you wanted to do, right? And you just did it. Who cares what other people say? And it feels, I don't know, honest like that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I just like it really like I resonate a lot with your influences, dude. Like, because you quite literally listen to the same music I do. It feels like, and it's cool to see the product of that. Like it's funny too because like I have like a style I go for and the stuff I do both vocals on and like try to make, and like you took a different direction with that. But like I quite literally do mean it when I say I feel like we listen to like a lot of the same bands.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Definitely both into that, definitely both into the industrial scene as well as core and all this stuff. There's not much technical influence in it. It's like the old breakdown here and there. At the end of the last track, quite heavy.
It's got that like sludginess though to it, like that kind of just like visceral, like kind of grime.
Yeah,
like I feel that come through.
Heaviest for sure. Like the one Spectres with Method to Madness. Jade wrote most of that. She wrote the riff that runs most of the way through it. I wrote the chorus and then the production around it.
Yeah.
I'm excited to get that once that track fucking slaps. Jake's vocals on it. Jake, who you had on a couple of weeks ago, his vocals on Spectres are fucking amazing.
So, anyway, like what type of media inspires your act? Like, is there any books or movies or TV shows that like really get in your head that could be part of what comes out of your music?
Kind of a lot of kind of a bit of everything really. 'Cause there's definitely like a lot of sci-fi and fantasy influence over the album. Like in terms of the lyrics, anyway. There's like some of the tracks have got like I don't know, kind of like a more I don't know how to describe it. Kind of like articulating the meanings behind the songs with different almost like themes. Like some of it feels kind of sci-fi and futuristic, and other times
I know how to describe what you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but like so it's kind of like in the way that like a lot of like if you read a book or watch a movie, right? That movie could be like a fantasy or sci-fi setting, but there's still like the generic story themes under it, right? About
exactly.
stuff that people deal with like loss and shit,
like using particular like writing or lyrical themes to represent whatever I wanted to articulate with that track, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But like I read I'm not so much anymore, but I used to read like a lot of fantasy and sci-fi novels, so I think mostly lyrically I guess a lot of it comes from that, and musically I guess the same really, because there's a weird mix of like using kind of like very modern or like almost like I suppose what you what's kind of being called by like I guess fixed records with like Cell Dweller and stuff, kind of point the term future rock using synth and all that kind of stuff in the music, which I do a lot of, but also using stuff that sounds less contemporary, like choirs and violins and stuff. So it's kind of an odd mix of stuff. So yeah, I guess
what's some of the sci-fi that you read? Do you like Asimov at all, or?
Did you read Dune? I bought Dune and I still haven't read it yet.
I really need to read Dune. I want to read it before the film comes out.
Oh, Dune is fantastic, and the original Dune movie by David Lynch is actually pretty decent. It's a little wacky, but it still is pretty cool. The new movie looks amazing, but I love Dune. That's a good one. But how about like Philip K. Dick? Have you read much of him?
I've read a lot of Philip K. Dick. I cannot recall the titles of the books off the top of my head, but I have read a lot of Philip K. Dick. I've read a decent bit of Asimov, and I recently read Hyperion by Dan Simmons. That was fucking awesome.
I've been curious about that one.
That's really, really good. I'd get the omnibus version with Hyperion and the sequel in like one book. Recommend it. It's really, really good. And as far as fantasy goes, I really like Robin Hobb, and like Robin Hobb's books are amazing. Check out the Live Ship Traders trilogy. It's absolutely fucking fantastic. It's like some of the best books I've ever read.
Cool.
And
cool.
Brandon Sanderson does some wicked stuff as well. His Mistborn trilogy is absolutely amazing.
I'm gonna have to ask you for a list later, because like you name and shit I haven't, because like I used to read a lot, and I kind of start picking that back up again.
Yeah, I want that list as well.
Also, not a book, but have y'all seen Firefly?
No.
Firefly is so fucking good.
I should.
That's amazing.
It's so good.
It's
I just
just-
started it actually. It's like I'm halfway through it now, but
It's just I keep rewatching The Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone's amazing, and
classic.
have you ever watched Outer Limits?
No.
It was a CBS like competitor of Twilight Zone. Oh my god! If you can find the Outer Limits, it blows Twilight Zone out of the water. I mean, Twilight Zone's great, but like Outer Limits is amazing. I'm heavily influenced by that. I love the original Star Trek a whole bunch. That's like one big thing. Anyone else a Star Trek fan?
I've never actually seen anything Star Trek.
I've watched most of it, but not for
Original
quite a
series
long
is so
time. I always
fun
watched it with my dad as a kid. I'll be back in Tuesday.
Yeah, I haven't like watched it, but the few episodes I've seen and like the movies are great.
Yeah, no, it's different. Well, I mean, it's different than like the next gen. The original series is like totally wacky and very theatrical and overly dramatic, which is like what makes it wonderful.
Because of its time as well, it's just you watch it like today, and it's just so bad it's funny. But like back then, it was like the biggest thing, and they got NASA to name a literal starship after the show, the Enterprise.
Totally.
But you just kind of look at today and you think, what the hell is this? Like it's a laughing stock. But back then it was like the hottest shit.
It's crazy, you know. Time changes things. That's for sure. How we perceive the things.
I'll have to go on a binge at one point. I do still need to finish Firefly though. Like I started it and then my Hulu sub ran out and I just haven't renewed it. Which, at least it's short, like mercifully, because it's not like one of those like 8-season like giant marathon shows that are just like massive. You could just knock it out pretty quick if you're trying to get through it.
Oh yeah, yeah, I like that. And then it's a nice movie to finish it off as well.
Oh yeah, I forgot there's a movie again.
What's the movie called?
I don't know. I'm hoping it's on Hulu because I ain't trying to pay any more for that.
Serenity, that's
Yeah.
Has anyone seen Squid Game yet? That's
I have not.
supposedly
Everyone's
the
been
hot
hopping
thing.
off on Squid Game, and I have not watched it.
It was good. I don't know if it was like, you know, quite everything it's hyped up to be, but it's definitely good.
I've seen the first episode and it's pulled me in. Like the first episode was at least like got its hooks into me, but I'm not like completely blown away.
Oh,
So
hey.
this
By the way,
song
Gabe, surprise, I'm on the CP.
I was gonna say this song is
This song has like
Nina and RJ on it, and is
Jake's on here.
Jade. Are you on it, Jade, or
Jake is on
Jake's on it?
I'm on it
Okay.
in spirit.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, Method to Madness is on it. Yeah, Jake's
This
got
is
some work.
this is Raze's
They
take on
told Jake
Deadweight.
how to scream the lines.
Yeah,
and then
this is
he
my
recorded
Deadweight.
that.
Eat your fucking heart out, Alex Terrible, and whoever the fuck else was on Deadweight.
Damn, he's throwing down the gauntlet.
Of course,
Well,
yeah.
for some reason, of course, it's not working. You know.
Look,
That's
we
just
gotta
how
hype it
things
up a
are
little bit,
today.
you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I will
Well,
say,
so-
while this
We're waiting
loads,
for.
that and you might just want to refresh the page. While this loads,
Oh.
it was a lot of fun to work with you on this, and this is kind of how. Well, I mean, we knew each other before, but like you know, like I hadn't really interacted with you too much before you graciously invited me on here. So thanks again for that.
Well, dude, that's not so much. When I was putting this together, and I was putting together like a list of the vocalists, I knew I was like, yeah, definitely gotta have Rob on here. Like,
I appreciate that.
yeah, sure. You
It's
got like such a unique sound. It'd be good. I think it'd be nice if we can like hear everyone's vocals through this.
Yeah. We'll try to pay pay notice to that when it comes up.
Yeah. It'd be wicked to like, yeah.
It's cool for
Yeah,
me. I
right.
know everyone on here, which is sweet. Like,
Yeah. It's been amazing working with everyone on this track. It's just like it seemed really ambitious to start with, and but yeah, once we kind of got into the flow of it, and everyone was just
I just remember when this was
Yeah.
like 5 minutes and it had like half the guests, and you were like, "Let's make it bigger."
yeah.
I had a
Well,
lot of
like
fun.
2 or 3, and then 4 and 5, and then it was like, oh, how many other? There's 9, including me on this track.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like how eclectic it turned out.
Yeah, everyone really like brought their own to this, which is cool.
Yeah, definitely. It changes quite a lot between the verses as well. Like Nina's is very metalcore, and then yours and Crash's Richard parts are pretty like deathcore, and yeah, I don't really know what one it is.
How's the lyric
It's a
video
really
going
long
for this,
song.
by the way?
Hmm?
How's the lyric video
Like it's
going?
over.
Oh, sorry.
The lyric video is doing fucking
Don't
ace.
order this
It's
song.
gonna take a hell of a long time. I've got so much rendering to do
A
for it.
whole ass book of lyrics.
Yeah, there are nearly 800 words in the song. About half of those were Tyrant.
Yeah. Here we got Rich from Slave.
Absolutely killed the fucking verse.
Oh
Amazing.
yeah.
That was great.
Out to Richard.
Nina?
This is Mina?
This is Nina.
Yeah, it's Nina.
Fuck yeah.
I am not watching the stream. What's going on?
We just got the audio on.
My computer's very much lagging, so
That's
I
okay.
didn't even try.
That's fantastic. I love that performance, Mina.
Yeah, like
Thank you.
Nina's verse in this album are the best bits for sure.
Mhm.
So brutal. I love it.
That's absolutely inhuman, man. I don't know how you do it.
I just decided to do something as low as I could.
That is so fucking low. That is so good.
And you were just like,
I
I just do Kagura and project. So I was like, what the fuck off?
And we have Tyra in here. I love the contrast between his and mine, because you hear what he's about to fucking do.
Yeah, this shit. This, like...
This is generally one of my favourite parts of the entire song. Just this
It's
entire
fucking
thing.
amazing.
Because I swear he's going faster than what Eminem did in Rap God.
I think he was practicing to fucking...
It was, I can't remember, but it's stupid.
I think he was practicing the rap songs to get that. I remember when he was trying to get these down, because this is like a recent thing for him to pick up that speed vocals. It's funny because I heard his part first and knew he was after me, and originally I was going to do something kind of fast, and then I listened to that and I'm like, I'm just going to do a 180 of my original idea.
Just it up.
Yeah.
I've never heard you do fast, Rob. I'll have to get you on a track.
Yeah, it's new for me. That was the other reason. It's just like I need to build that up more. But I'm totally down to give that another shot. I've got
Alex.
Is his name Alex? I didn't know his real name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alex, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of up tempo in your songs. I like that.
Also, shouting in for these fucking lyrics. Like the lyrics, like I've talked up your lyric writing ability a lot, but I definitely got like the inside look on this one, and it's very fucking impressive, honestly. It's Chad. Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Chad. Man, I love his eyes. I wish he had eyes like that.
Yeah. Did you end up using the dual mics for this, or was it just the single?
I think he just used one in the end.
Yeah.
Or I only used one track anyway. I think he sent me paper only one. I forgot his band name. I just know him as Monk. Absence of Truth.
Yeah.
Was it?
I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't remember his actual Michael, right?
Michael.
Or was it Mikael? The Swedish.
I don't know. I've never seen it written down.
I just know him as Monk.
Yeah, I just know
Same.
Monk. Monk Dunk.
Monk the Swede.
Monk the Dunk. The Swede of
With the
Oblivion.
man's time.
And Jake.
Did Slur ever get on this?
No, not in the end.
Yeah. I know he's been busy.
Like,
They just
yeah,
dropped a song today, actually.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a PJ on production. It's gonna be pretty nice.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think there's lyrics on YouTube. There might be on Bandcamp though. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I know he sent me a YouTube link to it earlier.
So here
This is
we
an
go.
awesome showcase of a bunch of people, which is super cool.
Final
Yeah.
song, but that was an amazing track. I love that track. That probably is the highlight so far of the album for me. Was hearing
Nice.
all
Like,
of
oh, it's
that.
the best song on the album.
I just love how it started out as like, let's just do this for fun, and then it turned into something like really epic.
It did. I mean, the track is the music goes so hard and everyone goes so hard. It's fantastic.
We all
So,
just really went unhinged on that.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not
that's
gonna lie, I was
perfect.
trying to start a rivalry with Chad on that. I was.
I asked if I could be edgy, and he said yes, and I was like, oh great.
Chad's my fucking false core brother. All right, like I had to give him an opponent.
So, Dylan, what do you want people to know about your band? Like, in terms of anything, moving forward with this album, anything.
I don't really care, to be honest. As long as people enjoy the music and the people who want to hear it hearing it, I'm happy.
That was a gangster ass answer. I don't really care.
I do it because I love it, and if other people love it, that's a bonus.
Yeah,
and I just want the people who are going to enjoy it.
Totally,
Have
that's
it.
what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
Also, I've got a merch store on Etsy now, so you can search Raze the Ultra and buy a t-shirt if you like it.
You so
There
much.
you go. That's what you're
Great.
supposed to say.
Oh. Alright. I will admit, this is the one song I actually haven't heard of the EP.
You haven't heard this one?
No,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
saving it for this.
Yeah, I do cleans.
I'm trying not to be biased, but this is generally my favorite one of the album.
Yeah, Jade wrote a
I
fucking
really
heavy
like the
riff.
tone switch that we got going on here. Like,
My riff on this really does go so hard, but just also the way the lines get delivered as well. Like, the way Jake delivers the line, there's no room to grow in a shallow grave.
Yeah, it's
So
high
obsessed
here,
with it.
brutal.
Who did the art for the album cover?
Me.
Excellent.
can I ask what your method is for doing this? Like, is it like a photo that you edited, or like?
Well, so all the mountains and lava and stuff in the background is photographed.
Hold on, I didn't
obviously.
catch anything you just said, man. I need you to slow. So.
The tree is all 3D rendered.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Wow. I really like this, like the overall like somber tone on this.
Shit.
Like this is such a weird minor thing for me, but like it means like it's a big deal for me when EPs and albums end on like a song that feels like it should be the end of the EP or album. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely feels like the end, doesn't it?
yeah.
It does.
There we go.
Bravo.
There we go.
Woo!
Bravo,
Yay!
bravo. That was excellent.
Thanks, man.
Well, I think we're gonna wrap this show up today, but I'd like to thank all my guests and Nina, Jade, and Dylan for coming out. You guys have any final thoughts or feelings?
And anything you want to shout out?
Uh,
Stream Method to Madness.
Yeah, there you go.
There
There
you
you go.
Buy a t-shirt.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Right
I don't
on.
care.
Buy t-shirts.
Buy t-shirts. Buy t-shirts from all these bands.
I really want to try and get one out for this Friday. I might kill Dylan for it, but I'll do it myself.
Yeah, we have an ambitious project to do for the Spectres track. We're gonna try and get some Method to Madness X Raise the Altar t-shirts done by the end of the week, so that we can release them for Halloween. Because this track is called Spectres, and it's makes sense
Ooh,
for Halloween.
spooky.
Yeah, we're gonna give some spooky crossover merch. So hopefully,
Yo,
keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah,
You might
DM me
find
when
that.
that's out, because I will definitely pick that
Do
up.
it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, we'll keep you posted because neither of us have any fucking idea what we're doing yet.
No, I don't know anything.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And
Yeah, thank you so much for having us on the show, and thank you very much for playing the album and everything. It's been fun and it's been an honor.
Yeah, thanks for coming along.
Are
Yeah,
there
most-
any thoughts?
No, I mean, fantastic job. I look forward to your next release. It's good for you to finally show up for an episode of your podcast, sir.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
I've got more music in the works already. I'll send you some teasers and stuff soon.
Well, I'll look forward to that.
Can't wait.
I just gotta get all these fucking lyric videos done first before I can start the music. I don't want to leave it too long since the release before I get the lyric videos out.
Right.
But the one for Custodian is like, yeah, it's going to take a long time because Tyrant. Yeah, I got some sweet.
He watches this show, but I hope he hears that.
Oh, he's every time the lyric video gets brought up, he's like, I did it just to piss you off.
Yeah.
Like, I did it to make your life hell. I'm like, thanks. You're welcome.
At least he's honest.
Oh yeah, totally.
Well, all right. I think we're wrapping up here. Gabe, you want to close us out?
Yeah, well, this has been Horns in the Air, and shout out to Cult of Metal. They're partners with this, and y'all have a great day. That's all. Peace.
Oh, you too.